Hey guys, Bella here. I just wanted to do a quick video on how I am driving for Lyft part-time. So Lyft has really picked up in my area. I live in Florence, Alabama, and so we just got Lyft like in the past year. And when we first started, it was pretty slow, but now I'm starting to see some traction, and I've gotten kind of used to turning it on whenever I am driving from house to house, or if I go and do something else, I'll try to turn my app on so I can just be efficient with my time. As some of you guys know, I'm a realtor full time and also run a part time Amazon merch business and Amazon FBA business and eBay business. So I have a lot of things going on. But Lyft is sort of allowing me to get money in the short term. One thing I like about it is that you can get paid out immediately. So if you need to come up with money very quickly and you're a hard worker and resourceful, you can make some money. But realistically, I think that this platform is good, but it also could put a lot of wear onto a newer car. I wouldn't recommend that you do this with a car that you are, going to keep for yourself, because it will put a lot of miles on your car, as well as just wear and tear from people getting in and out of it. However, my car is 7 years old and it almost has 100,000 miles, I believe. Probably going to hit 100,000 this year. So I think it's a good option for people who are just looking to have a good side hustle. There's a lot of debate about whether or not it's really worth the money to do a rideshare thing after your expenses. But if you think about it, I mean, every single business has these kind of expenses, and they continue to run. And the overhead with Lyft, of course, is your gas and your car insurance and your car payment if you have one. I don't have a car payment, but some people do. But to me, I just kind of reframe it as I have the option to now make enough money to pay my car insurance and all my gas and, have money left over. And that's sort of my goal with Lyft, is to be able to have some side income coming in. And I think, if you make $250 a week, you would make an extra $12,000 a year. So that's pretty huge. I mean, that's not a little bit of money. And also one thing that I like about it is if you get an app like MileIQ, you can track all of your miles going to pick up the passenger, going to drop off the passenger, and then going back to your original wherever you're going. And so I write off more miles than just the ride. So I think that that's a good way to cut down on your tax liability for this. On considering all the expenses, your tax liability is very, very low. You really shouldn't have to pay much in taxes at all. So that's one selling point for it. Let's just look at the last couple of days, and this is definitely part-time. I don't drive all day long. I think that people who do are probably very mentally tough, because it can take a lot out of you to be on the road all the time and to constantly be aware and being able to talk to your passengers and figure out what's going on. But this is basically 7 days worth of work part-time, and it amounts to $241. So let's just make some calculations here for my average ride. I had 21 rides, so average ride paid out $11.47. So to me, that makes it worth it to go do these rides. And I think my market is a little uncommon because pretty much almost everyone tips in my market. I know I heard a lot of people on Facebook groups saying that nobody ever tips and that tips were rare. But where I live, I think it's just Southern culture to tip, and I'm very thankful for that. And I certainly don't go anywhere without tipping myself, so I think it's all paid forward. So anyways, 11.47 is my average ride. Now let's take a look at, let's see, I want to see how much I made per day. And keep in mind, I actually didn't drive 2 days of the week. So if we just factor in 7 days, then I made $34.42 a day. But if we factor in only the days that I drove, that would be $48.20 a day. So let's hop on to the next page. see. So this tells my earnings and my tips. So pretty good tips here in this market. Again, let's just look at this. 56.98 divided by 193.45, and then times 100%. So 29.45% tips. That's a pretty good rate of return. So that's really awesome. Um, but yeah, that's just kind of, I mean, that's going to vary market to market, but that is really cool. Um, I don't know what this minus $9 bonuses is. Actually, if anyone can tell me what that means, I would be super thankful because I've never seen it pop up before. So that is one thing that I'm not able to explain. But anyways, that's my earnings breakdown, and then we'll flip on to the next page. This is just some of my rides, just showing you that this is not a scam video, and I don't really have any motivations to make a Lyft video. I don't really care about Lyft one way or the other. As far as platforms go, I am not an Uber driver. I'm gonna get set up for that probably in the next week or two. I don't have a lot of time right now, so I'm trying to be more efficient with what I'm doing. But anyways, I don't have any loyalty to either platform, and I'm just trying to make a living. So little disclaimer there. So as for Tuesday, I made 70 bucks and gave 6 rides and had 3 tips, so that's pretty good. Let's see, looks like I gave a longer ride, the first ride, 1763, and no, it looks like I did that ride really on Monday night, late Monday night, because that says 12:22 a.m. And then there's a $5 tip and then a $1 tip, so pretty good from tips. Let's flip over to Wednesday. Made 22.73. Only gave 2 rides. So that is, very part-time. But hey, 22.73. That's not, that's not nothing. Definitely will pay for the gas for the week pretty much. Gas here is relatively cheap. It's costing me about $24 to fill up my car, and that's just hopefully it stays low. But I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. Thursday made almost 70 bucks, 6 rides, and you'll see that it says online for 9 hours and 20 minutes. So in our market, you don't get a lot of rides. Like you really, I just have it turned on in the background, and sometimes I forget that it's on. And I've actually started being more picky about the rides that I take. I will sort of decline a ride if I think it's going to be too long of a drive, and also if I accept the ride and then I see where they are and I don't really like that, then I'm going to probably cancel the ride because I mean ultimately you're an independent contractor, and from everything that I've been reading, Lyft doesn't really care that much about your acceptance rate, or no drivers would even be on the platform, and you have to consider your own safety and your own comfort level and what makes this worth your time. And I think that's what people, they get burnt out or they get negative about it, is when they start letting people like walk all over them, and it's like you have to set boundaries in this kind of job because people are going to ask you, can you stop here, can you stop there, and no is a complete sentence. So just kind of think of that. I certainly don't mind if someone has a 1 to 2 minute stop, but at the same time, I ask them to take all their belongings with them out of the car for safety reasons. And if they don't want to do that, then I'm not going to stop. And the reason that I do that is because um, if they take way longer than what they said, I can just end the ride and then leave. You can't very well leave if all their belongings are still in the car. So your mileage may vary with this, but that's one strategy that you can think about for people who are trying to manipulate you and use your time, basically, because we don't get paid very much for our time, and our time is valuable. So anyways, the longest ride looks like on that day paid me out about 24 bucks plus a $8 tip. That was really nice of him. And let's see, let's check out on Friday, $63.45. This is probably just a Friday night. Yeah, it looks like I drove from 4 to midnight, and made $63. What I do is leave the app turned on, and I'm just sit at my house, and whenever I get a ping, I go to get the ride. So that kind of works for me because I live close enough to all the bars and stuff for it to not be too much of a hassle. And I don't stress out and sit in my car for 5 or 6 hours a night and try to get rides. So I think that's also a good way to do it. Uh, yeah, I think that's about it. This is the Sunday and Saturday. I did not drive on Sunday, and Saturday I just had one ride and made $15 off of it. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. Lyft is sort of one of those things that, um, you know, it's it's going to be worth it to some people and not worth it to other people, and it's all about how you frame it. There's a lot of things that other people do that I don't feel like is worth the money, but they do. So you just have to try it out and see. I was very skeptical when I started watching a lot of videos about how you're not really making any money after all the expenses. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is money going into my account that I did not otherwise have. And I look at it the same way as I look at Airbnb. You're using an asset that you already have, and in my case, I already paid for, and it's going to continue to depreciate whether or not I use it or not. So I'm using that to generate a side income, and I think that that's the best way to frame it in your mind. And if anyone has any questions or anything about driving, I am happy to answer them. I'm not an expert driver. I've given less than 200 rides, but more than 100. So that just lets you know I'm not totally green, but also I'm not super experienced. I know some people who drive in bigger cities have thousands of rides under their belt, but it's just not feasible here with the demand. I know some people from here will go to like Huntsville and Nashville and Birmingham and drive and make more money. And I've done that as well. I've gone to I think Birmingham and done really well at Sloss Festival during a surge night. That was so fun. So if you can find out about concerts, you can really just drive down there when the concert's like during the concert time, and then come back home from wherever you are. And this totally applies to anyone. If you're living within 1 to 2 hours of a major city or something like that, or an airport. So might be something to think about. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to leave my referral links in the comment section in case you want to start up as a driver, or if you even just want to refer a ride or if you want $5 off as a rider, you can get that as well. So I'll leave that in the comment section below. And if anyone has any questions or suggestions on how to be more efficient or make more money with Lyft, please leave that and let's start a discussion. Thanks so much, guys, for watching.